Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the Parrot. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you. Hello, welcome to World Inkers Network. I'm Dustin Pickering, your noble and honest host. We are going to start broadcasting at Saturdays at noon or at 10 a.m. and on Tuesdays 2 p.m. And then today is Tuesday, so it's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And today we have Spondon Ganguli, who is an educator in a renowned and reputed CISCE English medium school in Howrah. He started his career as an educator in ICT in 2000 and worked in various schools, both ICSE and CBCE across the country. He is a Master's of Science in Computer Science and Master of Computer Application. He is a lifelong learner with a zest for experimenting and learning new things. Apart from teaching computer science, he is an author and started his journey as a writer in the year of 2019. Some of his works were published in online magazines like The Thinking Pen, Hetpaka, and Shandam. Apart from this, his work is also part of anthologies across the globe. Letters Here to Hereafter, The Great Indian Anthology Volume 3, Memories of Food, a collective anthology 2021, Indian Poetry Review, Classical Award 2021. He is also the author of 4 books, Forgotten Love, Unforgotten Love, a collection of 22 poems on love, devotion, and friendship, Let Me Hold Your Hand and Do Not Leave Me, 2 English novels, and Pyra Asha, a Bengali novel. His other areas of interest include reading books, listening to music, and painting. He also has keen interest in fashion designing, interior decoration, and photography. He was associated with dramatics as an active member of the Prithvi Manch Theater and Production for 10 years and acted on stage for various dramas based on social as well as mythological stories. His paintings and photographs were part of various online and offline exhibitions across the country since 2020. Thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well, fine. And I heard about this network, and I'm obliged that you give me a chance to speak about myself and my work and to share it with your readers and viewers.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're to present lots of different varieties of artists and creative minds. So tell us a little bit. You have like a very wide range of interest, aesthetic interest. What draws you to that range? I mean, is you just insatiable curiosity, or what is it?
See, the thing is, I never thought of writing something before. And also one more thing on the contrary, when during my school days, I never thought of I will be a ICT professional. In schools, I hate this subject, the computer science. And my subject was the area of physics and mathematics. But where God takes, we go there. So now the computer science is my main source of bread and butter. And this skill of literary work or creative writing, maybe by God's grace, it come down and I'm penning down my thoughts. Basically, what I think is from the early childhood, I am a dreamer. I dream. I love to dream. and love to imagine. Whatever I think something in front of me, I could imagine something else out of that. And that's why from very early childhood, art and photography was my skill. Means I love to do that one. Basically, I thought that I could be a professional photographer or an artist, but unfortunately, I could not be that. That helped me to think out of the box while writing something what I discovered. So when I discovered my first poem, maybe fortunate or unfortunate, I've just penned down my thoughts, and everybody appreciate and told me that okay, you can go on and think something else also. So that's way just I carried on. So in that way, I'd like to say one thing. This is my first book that I
Hmm.
have published with all my courage, having 22 poems, just from my childhood to till this manhood, whatever I thought, my imaginations and all those. And thus the journey of this authorship started.
Excellent. So, yeah, since your background is in, physics and IT, does any of that stuff ever work its way into your poetry, or is it like a separate realm for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In one sense, my professional field is totally different from my creative work. But at the same time, uh, I get something, some inputs from that field also. Basically, my students, they are my first stage listener, the readers. Whatever I create, I used to discuss that with them, my students and my colleagues, and they suggest whatever changes or whatever required to do. And that's all I'm going on. Let's hope I could do something more better.
Hmm. So, you write on topics of physics or anything of
No.
that nature?
uh, while it is poetry, I started writing poetry on love.
Hmm.
Okay. Then, apart from love, one source of writing is my daughter also.
Hmm.
So I write in two languages. Actually, I'm bilingual writer. I write in English as well as in Bengali. So
Okay.
my basically, I think of writing. Started writing with Bengali poems and Bengali stories, short stories. Then after that, I worked on translating them in English, and now I write separately on English, a separate platform, something, and another Bengali, two parallel lines, but that don't create any problems. Basically, now what I think on current issues is one of my topic,
Hmm.
as well as another topic I love to write and write. My two books, novels, are on the LGBT community, and mainly the gay relationship and the problems they faced, or and the transgenders, the transgender peoples and gay peoples.
Hmm.
The problem once they come out to the society, then the first hit they get from the family, then other. So the problem they come across and how they suffer and how they resist or struggle, some
Hmm.
may goes up, some may collapse. So on that topic also I choose to write. My two novels are based on those two. And apart from that, nature is also one my topic because I love photography, and I prefer to write on nature also.
What interests you about the transgender and the gay community? What brought you into that sort of topic?
The thing is, for transgender, what I feel in India, what happened, we call them as hijras. They are
Hmm.
hijras. Now, transgender as a people or a community here in our country, one back minded thought is that they have only one prospect, that is of entertainment. And like what happened here, if in a family we have a birth of a baby or a marriage, then we call or they come here and they do some blessings and some rituals, and against them they have been paid. But that is not the main aspect of that. if I go beyond, I have learned some ancient text also. In our Hindu mythologies, what I have learned, the transgenders are also warriors, even they are the rulers in some societies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
they are also people, and they also require the same justice and equality like we men and women. That's why what happened, we have now many nation, many countries and their governments have uh, worked with that there should be three categories: male, female, and other gender. So I used to think on and write about that part as their struggle, and they should be equally valued in the society.
Mm-hmm.
So my story is
Okay.
based on those concepts. And one more aspect is there,
Mm-hmm.
though, if we say the gay concepts, like there are some taboos about gay or
Mm-hmm.
homosexuality. Now, the people, mainly the young people, those who don't know about these genders, they don't know about these concepts, they get the first sufferer, mainly the boys. Child uh, during as they have been child, in from the society also, these type of kids are also a big sufferer, and that continues till their manhood, and that affect them very badly. So against that crime, the sexual harassment to those children, my
Wow.
stories also reflect some topics,
Mm-hmm.
some points, some messages. I try to give that also. And there's
Yeah.
also one aspect that what I feel is love does not follow any gender. It is
Right.
actually, it is actually the connectivity of two hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Just that.
Right. Absolutely. That's a beautiful. Does that work into your poetry as well? That you write
Yes.
love poetry, so that same concept is sort of in the poetry also.
Poetry, in poetry, love, devotion, friendship, motherhood, these all comes together. Mainly my poetry is it binds human to human. I try to give message as we all here as one human being, and we need to be together till we are surviving. There is nothing else. Religion is separate issue, your work is separate issue, your status is separate issue, society is separate issue, language separate issue. But as a human being, we are one entity, and we should think of other, and together we should proceed and prosper. That is my main motto of writing poetry.
And so you mentioned you're bilingual. Do you feel that gives you an advantage over just an English speaking poet, or does the effect of knowing two different languages, does it give you a different knowledge of language in general?
See, I was taught in other part of the country in India.
Mm-hmm.
My father was in railway and transferable jobs, so I was a Kendriya Vidyalaya student. And during my education, I learned two subjects, that is English and Hindi, and
Mm-hmm.
Bengali is my mother tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So I know English, Hindi, and Bengali, three languages. Speak also those three. The more we know, what I feel, there's more we know any language, more we know the concept, the depth in that. Like every language has its own history, has a rich source of knowledge within it. May it be English, we call the literature of English, or Hindi, or Bengali, French, every long language. Now, those who know many languages are luckiest people. Because I think in my school there's one teacher who was master in 17 languages, including out of that 10 Indian and 7 foreign languages.
Wow.
So uh, I don't know so much, but as much I know, it is always uh, in a positive way, in a better position to know more, because one thing is translation is one aspect, but the direct essence is something other than that. So if I know something or read something in Hindi, then the translation of that will be two different things. Same with the English and the Bengal.
Hmm.
So I always think uh, more we learn, more we know, it will be always good for us. Though the time is limited and
Right, absolutely. The life is a learning process. We develop as we learn. I notice when I'm actually currently learning Bengali a bit by bit, and I noticed that when it's something about learning another language like activates my mind a lot. It stimulates it a lot more. So I feel like I'm more aware of things in general. When I'm learning, when I'm in that process, and when when I'm through practicing or through learning a little bit, my mind feels a little more jogged. I guess you could call it. So it's very interesting how that works, and I find that it's just I feel like my awareness develops through learning languages and reading poetry, especially. So, what do you think poetry's social role would be, ideally?
poetry have a long aspect. What I feel like one aspect of poetry can be the human feeling, the humane we will say, like the emotions,
Hmm.
our the happiness, sadness, joy, or sorrow. One is the emotional part is obviously very much there in the poetry. As per I have learned, I read a lot of poetry, especially in Bengali. I prefer to read some English poetry also. I learn and read. In my school days I learned, but after that there's a gap, and now you've heard about Miss Papia Ghosh, you have interviewed. So I have joined her, and together we are working on one project on different forms of English poetry.
Hmm.
So by that, I'm also coming to know and learning different forms. I'll read few of that here if time permits.
Hmm.
The same thing. The other thing is the concept of the society. Poetry can directly point to that one, and if I have to give a particular message, that is very very important, that a poet or an author should give
Hmm.
that one directly. So, if you have heard about or not, Qazi Nazrul Islam, one
Hmm.
Bengali poet from Bangladesh, he was from India actually, then it was partitioned. So, Qazi Nazrul Islam was a great poet. He wrote songs and poems both for devotions as well as for the society. Even we have Rabindranath Tagore, and Hindi we have Munshi Premchand and others. We have I have learned. So a direct message if I have to give to the society for something which needed, the need for the hour, like right now this last 2 years we are going through the corona pandemic and lockdown. So there are a lot of poems I've heard about the various, from even from the students in our school, also from kids, or expressing their whatever their the fear or their thoughts through the poem. So
Hmm.
poem is always a good platform to provide a message to the society.
I think so too. I think it can definitely serve as a mirror to the society and show people what everything from the follies and the strengths to even potentially being a guiding light to people who are lost. I mean, it's there's a lot of people that go to poetry and language to try to develop their own understanding of life. That was my initial impulse to poetry, was learning about trying to understand where I'm coming from as a person and more about human nature, and understanding things like ideas that I didn't was less familiar with. That they tend to, I think I see them in poetry as more I don't know. I guess you could say more entertaining and interesting when I find ideas presented through poetry than when I find them like in a physics textbook or something. I just don't understand the
Absolutely, absolutely.
math.
And so one more thing I would like to say. That's why if you see uh, uh, Indian mythologies, basically we have that Sanskrits, that
Mhm.
mythologies. There all the messages, the texts, all are in the form of slokas. Slokas are actually the very first form of poetry,
Mhm.
and that have the very deep meaning.
Mhm.
From that it evolves. So now the present form of poetry is also reflecting the same thing, that it is messaging something directly to the society, and it's not required that who I am, where from I am is important, but the main important thing
Mhm.
is what I want to say, and that is the important thing, I feel. So may it be the emotions I want to pretend here to get it penned down, or may I want to pen down some important messages. It can
Absolutely.
be.
We'll take a brief break and we'll be back with some of your poetry. It was wonderful talking to you, Spondon. It's
Sure.
pleasant. So we'll take a brief break here and we'll increase that.
Keep watching the New York Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
Welcome back to World Anchors Network. We have Spondon Ganguli here with us today. He's going to read us some of his wonderful works of poetry. So, what would you like to read today for us?
Sure. I would like to start with my first poem that I wrote, and it is there in my book, Forgotten Love, Unforgotten Love. And then I'll read some two other poems. So the first poem, this one I penned down in January 2018. My desire. Whenever I see you, I dream to be a poet. I want to write a poem for you. Whenever I see you, I want to be a painter. I want to draw you on my canvas. You have filled my heart with joy, but I am no one of this world. I want to hold your hand and sit on the bench to count endless waves. I want to hold your hand and walk in the wood to feel the morning dew. A sudden breeze comes and you hug me tight. I feel the warmth of you, the smell of you. I'm getting dissolved in you. Myself dilutes me within your essence. I'm no one for you. So this was my first poem that I wrote. Apart from that, now I would like to read two more poems. These two poems, one of that is published in Great Indian Anthology Volume 3, and another one in Great Indian Anthology Volume 4. So the next poem is, just a moment, let me on it.
You're watching World Anchors Network. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe to the channel.
It is some problem on my computer. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Rain at midnight. Now we all enjoy rain. Everybody, when we are having a good shelter, we have food and obviously money in our pocket. But for everyone, it is not a good luck. So on that, I wrote this poem. The midnight rain broke into my sleep. It came down in heavy pours, drenched me down deep. The water ran in a deep course. With no roof over my head, I was left shivering in the rain. The rain did not spare my scanty bed. There is no room left for my pain. The raindrops were drumming on the ground. Strikes of lightning flashed across the sky. On asbestos roofs, they made deafening sound. The bottled plastics around me fly. What a nightmare it was for the poor, which could be a luxury for the rich, for sure.
Wonderful.
Okay. And I'd like to read another poem. Mm, It's Firefly. It is actually a optimistic poem.
Okay.
Oh, little firefly, how come you spread your fluorescent light on a new moonlight? You are only my hope. My failures are illuminated by your glowing spark. My resilient dreams are inspired by your glittering spark. You burn down the barriers of caste and creed in your soothing light. Your wings, they carry the sparkles of a new hope. You fill my world with happiness and hope, enlightening my disparate soul with your luminous spark. With open arms, I welcome hope with thy magnificent light. A new light igniting a new hope with your precious spark. Oh, little firefly.
Wow. From small things come great ideas.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful poem. I like especially how you mix, like, there is a little bit of like science and stuff in some of these poems, and you mingle that into like a grander idea and a poetic concept that really brings to light what you're trying to say. And I especially love how, I guess you could say, sensual a lot of it is. Like it's very much based in the senses. Like a lot of water imagery in the first two poems, and then a lot of
Yeah.
sight with the light, the firefly, and you focus a lot on the type of light it's emitting, and things like that. So that's
Yeah.
really beautiful poems. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing them.
Yeah, thank you. And this poem, especially Firefly, this has a history.
Mhm.
I started my work in the year 2000. So there, my first work was in North Bengal.
Mhm.
It was in the basin of Himalaya in Darjeeling. So what I feel, it was a small township, and during the night, all the fireflies comes down, and that area, it has long grasses. That grasses even 4 foot in tall. So when those fireflies come down in the dark night, it's all from a top. It seems like all the stars has from the sky dropped down on the ground.
Wow,
It's
that's
a
interesting.
very beautiful situation, and
I can
from
see
that,
how
I inspired to write this poem.
that sort of idea that you just mentioned, like the stars falling from the sky, like how that could present the idea of, like, opposing caste and things of the nature that you mentioned in there, class and caste and so forth. Like stars coming down, to the earth and meeting with the earth, and like that's a very nice concept. I really appreciate that. That's wonderful. So, tell us a little bit about your photography and painting and so forth. What subjects do you like to take in your work in those lights?
Photography, basically, I love to catch the nature, flowers, birds, or anything from nature. I love to travel. Whenever I go to some unknown places, I try to catch some snaps for my memories, and from that comes with the photography. Very recently, some of my photographs has been selected in some exhibitions, few exhibitions in Kolkata and across also the country online. And painting, from I told earlier also, from childhood I used to draw and paint. So it's on all. I have learned few concepts of oil painting and on canvas and pencil sketch. So whatever I feel something good, I try to put it down.
Mhm.
Now at present I'm working on some abstract art. I can show here
Okay.
just a few things. If you can go, just I have made this one book, this one, and just few pages, just simple penny, nothing else.
Makes me think of a roller coaster. Oh wow, I
Yes.
like it a lot.
So this one
Nice.
is the earth is rolling down from the mountain, and just let me turn some pages. This is
Wow, very
uh,
interesting.
yes, the husband and wife are talking, gossiping, whatever you can say.
Okay.
This is something at the television everyone is watching, and this one, these are just, this is just some time pass I used to work on.
Uh-huh.
It's a cat, this one, cat and dog,
Oh, I like that.
Untitled. So a few, this one is like this one. No,
Oh,
this one is like this. So
nice.
some, and I would like to, this one on Mother's Day I've just tried. My mother passed for her eternal journey in 2014,
Oh wow.
but her memory is there with me.
Mhm.
This one is just a thought of every mother. She
Beautiful.
carry the baby in her womb,
Uh-huh.
but with the future always, she always think of something bright for her baby. Maybe a
Mm-hmm.
boy or a girl, whatever. Whenever she becomes, whenever a lady or a girl becomes a mother, it's always think that she has fulfilled his her hope and everything. So that is the aspect I've just tried to draw. So this one is very recently I've tried my imaginations on some abstract work. I love to draw sceneries also, and portraits.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, we have a lot in common in those terms. I like to do a lot of abstract, sketches and stuff myself. It's really fun, and the pencil just takes its life of its own sometimes and does whatever it will. So, what do
One,
you like to read? When you have time to read, is there any particular literature you particularly prefer?
I read both poem, poetry. I also read. I nowadays now I read on online basically because not get so much time to get it through the books, turn the pages of the books. But anytime we get free time, basically while traveling back from school to home, I turn the pages online. So poems are also my favorite, and short stories. I love to read short stories, and I've wrote few short stories also, and few of them have been published also online. Apart from that, I love novels,
Hmm.
and basically I love suspense drama and that one.
Wonderful. So you have a pretty wide range of interests in terms of literature and art, and so
That keep me relaxed. These all give me some relaxation
hmm
and a hope for a new day to start with something good. So what I
absolutely.
feel, I also say that to my students also, that see, whatever you are learning and whatever your future may be, whatever your prospect, whatever you want to be, whatever may be your area of earning, that is separate aspect, and you as a person, as an entity, is a separate thing. Who you are, that need to be inculcate also. And this form of either art or writing, mainly the poetry form or anything, any something that is your own reflection will make you survive always. See,
Hmm.
job we do for others so that we can earn for the family. That is for also for others. But what your own aspect is your thoughts, your imaginations, whatever you get, whatever you did not get, whatever you desire, everything can be reflected on something what you are. So obviously a creative world is always your place you should work for. So this is always, apart from teaching my subject, this is also, I say told this to my students, give that also a thought. So and luckily nowadays we see, like even from very young age the students are involved in writing, creative writing. Even the age of 5 or 6, those few students write beautiful poems. Maybe those are childish, but at least at that age I never thought of, I
Hmm.
never thought of I could write something before 2000.
Wow. Yeah. I was an early comer too. I think I started writing when I was about 5 or 6. So,
Okay.
what last message would you leave our viewers with?
uh, One message is, see, A to Z is one thing, it is always practical, but imagination is beyond that.
Hmm.
So we should have imagination, hopes, and dream. Dreams are very, very important for everybody. So we need a dream always. And for keeping our dream alive, creative work is also important.
Hmm.
Whatever aspect is there for your creativity to come up, come out, you should get involved in that. You should have some time for that and give some time to that,
Hmm.
even if you are so much busy. And for my readers and your readers, I'll always suggest, please, if possible, read my books also, my poems, my stories, and always
Take a full plug in there. You know?
uh, give an opinion whether
Mhm.
I'm writing good or wherever I want to improve. See, always for improvement there is no limit. A person can
Right.
improve as long as he is alive. He need to learn, need to practice, need to work on. So that is my motto of life also. So I go on writing. I think I, till my last breath, I will keep this aspect of writing and reading alive.
Would you like to give any shout outs or thank yous to friends or supporters, family while you're on the show at the end here?
Mm, for them, I can give one message is, we all are human beings and life is only one. We get only one chance. So forget all egos, all issues, and let's all be united on humanity. We should be human being for think for other people. We should think of others also, take everything, everyone together. Then the world will be better for our coming generation.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Spondon. It was wonderful speaking with you about your poetry and art and your novels. So, if you know anybody else that you think would be on the would love to be on the show, just let us know and pass on my email to them, and I'll be in touch with them and
Sure.
get them
Hmm.
on to the interview. And it's wonderful, pleasant experience talking with you today.
Okay. I would like to show my two novels. These
Okay,
are the two novels I wrote. One is Do Not Leave Me, and another one is Let Me Hold Your Hand. Both are available on Amazon.
okay.
If possible, read and let me know so that I can improve my writing skills and I do some better service for the society apart from being a teacher.
Excellent. Well, keep it up. Keep working on your work and keep doing your painting and art and everything else. And we love talking with you. You've watched World Inkers Network. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe right now. In this moment, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And if you want to share some payment love, you can get on PayPal and send us a little cash to help us support our endeavors here and supporting the arts and promoting the arts. PayPal.me/NYParrot. That's PayPal.me/NYParrot. If you want to send any amount, will be fine. $5, $500, $5,000, any increments of $5. Just kidding. You can send whatever you feel comfortable sending, and we would love to thank you on the program as well. And also, if you want to be on the program as a guest, whether you're a creative writer, an artist, an actor, a musician, any sort of creative work you're doing, we'd love to talk with you about it. You can get in touch with me, Dustin Pickering, at literarycorner@newyorkparrot.com. I'd love to hear from you. Send me a bio of yourself in third person and a headshot with a couple of sample works from your wonderful works of art, your wonderful, beautiful productions of your mind, so I can get an idea of who you are as a creative mind. So thanks for watching today's program. Again, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that right now if you haven't already subscribed. We need as many subscribers as we can. And share this content. Share this interview. If you enjoyed it, give us some feedback. Tell us what you think. And get to writing. Have a great afternoon. Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you.
Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot.